Good evening, friends, and Sagar Jai Jinendra. Welcome to Nahar JBN Mahakumbh, a 12 days virtual business expo globally expanding to 67 chapters in India and 26 chapters abroad. And it is open to all, which means all the business fraternity, whether you are a Jito or non-Jito, are welcome, invited in Nahar JBN Mahakumbh. And today we have a privilege to have a very exceptional personality, a business tycoon, Mr. Shrenik Ghodawat from Sanjay Ghodawat Group. He's director and managing the retail, consumer goods, renewable energy and aviation industry vertical of Sanjay Ghodawat Group. He joined the group at the age of 19 as a family-run business. He has been considered as a 40 under 40, 50 under 50 award by AsiaOne. He is skilled in planning, strategy, sustainability, branding, corporate finance, and masters from international school called in Brussels, UBI, under the international business. So welcome to you, Mr. Shrenik. And
yes,
it's really privilege that, in Jito family, we have such a gems like you. And I would like to ask you a few questions. The first question which comes to everybody's mind is that, as a Sanjay Ghodawat Group, your group is headquartered in Jaisingpur in Maharashtra. So what was the thought process behind it? I'm sure there could be some family reason, but today you are operating a lot of locations, but your core headquarters is still in Jaisingpur. Would you like to put some light on that?
Yeah. First of all, thank you very much, Rishabh-ji, for having me on this chat. And Jai Jinendra to all the viewers and listeners from everywhere. You've asked a very, question which is asked to us, by a lot of people, that why, most of the families, when they create wealth or they create multiple businesses, they want to shift to larger cities. But we as a group have stick to where our core is. I think one of the biggest reason is that, we as a family or we as a group are in love with the place that we are, and the people over here are our people. They have given us so much love. The area has given us so much love. The amount of the wealth creation for each and everybody around us. So it's just not our family that has benefited out of it, but all the 10,000 members that we have today in the group have also benefited out of it. And the satisfaction that we get when we wake up in the morning, that is something that has made us remain grounded and made us remain where we are. Going forward, we have grown into multiple areas, multiple businesses. We have offices all across India, but the satisfaction that it gives to see a tier 3 or a tier 4 city being built up around you, I think that satisfaction is unparalleled to, I think, any wealth creation. So this is one of the ethos why we've been here. That's an emotional side of it. Coming to the practical and business side of it, I think the potential for us as a location Kolhapur has given us is the proximity to 2 or 3 states around us. And that in itself gives us access to a very large audience of customers. It gives us access to a very large amount of raw material availability around us for our businesses and our industry. And this is also considered as, one of the highest per capita income area in India. So from that perspective, I think strategically also and emotionally also, there is a very big connect to the place Kolhapur. I think that's why we are
very well understand. I think you have answered both of my questions. Like, you have not only created the wealth, you have created a city, you have created an ecosystem, you have created quality of life, you have leveled up the life of everybody in the city. So that's a wonderful thought, Shrenikji. And now we follow you on LinkedIn, and wherein you mentioned that local mart is being opened everywhere. So in terms of retail and consumer goods, what are your plans for India, and are you looking for a broad expansion as well?
Yeah. So consumer business or retail has been very close to me. I think I have entered the business a little late. I started with the energy business of the group. My father, Mr. Sanjay Ghodawat, was very clear that, we have to be closer to our consumer and we have to create an ecosystem which is there for future. So with his vision and with his guidance, we've been able to create a very strong consumer business now. Just last year, we clocked about 1,000 crore plus in revenue in the consumer business alone. And going forward in the next 2 years, we have planned to triple the revenue from where we are. The idea is very clear. We've always focused on the masses and the mid masses category of product. Star is very synonymous to all the people that are there around us, and our focus has always been on the rural market. and the rural India as a whole. So we focus on the Bharat and not the India of our nation. Going forward, the consumer business will continue to focus on growing in more and more category of products. We have a very wide range of products, be it edible oil, rice, jaggery, snack food, beverages, personal care and home care products, and we will continue to invest into these categories and grow them. Coming to the local mart side of it or retail side of it, again, the idea was very clear that how can we go more closer to the consumer? In today's day and age of disruption where D2C brands are doing something which took us 15 years to create, and they have been able to successfully do this in the last 2 to 3 years. So I think we cannot be, we will have to be cognizant of the fact that, there are going to be disruptions in this. And the best way to tackle disruption is to be closer to your consumer, to understand what they want and to deliver them in the right time at the right place. So Local Mart is one such initiative from the group where we give the ownership of the store also to a localite, and we allow them to sell the products which are locally sourced and from the national brand leaders also, plus we have our own private label also in this. So it's a 360-degree approach sort of a model where today we will do an omni-channel distribution creation for these consumer products. Going forward, we also have a plan to launch our own e-commerce sector where these local mart stores will be connected and we will be able to supply the products to the consumers within 2 hours of them ordering on the mobile app. Coming to the question of going international, as a group, our focus has always been India. But having said that, we also realize that there are a lot of Indians who are located, in global markets. And from our rice business, we have already started the exports. We will also be looking at exploring the options whether the retail chain of what we have created as Local Mart over here can be explored in global markets as well, where Indians today living abroad will be able to get homegrown products and products which are manufactured in India at very convenience and a lot of convenience and at an affordable price as well.
Great, Shrenik ji, I think you have answered that. A lot of NRIs who still want to have connect with their soil, and they can relish the products of Star Group, and that too also locally sourced, homegrown sourced products. And in terms of application, mobile application, as you are saying that within 2 hours, all the store will be collected. So all your supply chain will be backwardly integrated with the warehousing, automation, delivery, etc., etc.
Yes.
Now that the major change which people now face that, because of so much of competition in this space, since you are already backwardly integrated, so I'm sure your group will definitely, create a true Bharat in terms of, the connectivity.
Yeah. So Rishabh, just to add on to it, most of the retail chains have gone as a forward integration into private labeling. Yes. We as a group, we created our brand and now have gone into forward integration of retailing it by going closer to the consumer. So this is a unique story in itself. And this is what we are trying to get closer to the consumer and open these local mart stores even in a 5K or a 10K population sort of a village.
I think that reminds me, last month I was reading that Paris is becoming a 15-minute city, which means everything will be available in 15 minutes, whatever you wish to. So Local Mart gives me a feeling that, everything will be available, whatever you wish to. And I really feel that from beverage to airline, it's like, really a big task. When you do so many multiple hats you wear, of course, you hire a lot of professionals, you hire a lot of people at various levels, starting from skilled, unskilled, semi-skilled to very highly accomplished professionals. So as a promoter, as a director of your business, as an owner, what 3 quality you look into a person? Because if anybody want to join Sanjay Ghodawat Group or any of the vertical, what Mr. Shrenik will be looking in him or her?
So I think it's a very good question, and for somebody who's aspiring to take up employment or aspiring to join businesses, somebody rightly said that if you can't create something but you have the zeal, you better back somebody who already has a vision. So this is something I think most of the young generation should understand today, that there are no shortcuts to success. A lot of people feel that it's very easy to create unicorns today or very easy to get funding, but we also need to understand that it requires a lot of hard work. So I think the first and foremost quality which does not require any talent is hard work. You need to be very hardworking. there are, life is not a bed of roses. And if you actually want to succeed in life, hard work is most important. Today, even though we have got a platform and, my father was able to create a lot of successful businesses, but he always taught us that don't take anything for granted. If it is there today, it can not be there tomorrow. You need to have the quality of working hard. And that is something that nobody can take away from you. So I think first and foremost, I think the most important thing is hard work from our perspective. We want to ensure that anybody who wants to join our group is willing to work hard. I think number 2 is ethics and integrity. It is very important in today's day and age where, people are wanting to make money in shortcuts, or, we see a lot of online frauds. We see multiple issues happening. I think integrity and ethics is something which is again a quality which does not require talent, right? So both the qualities which I've told you, you don't need to specifically have a very large amount of education to do these, yes, or neither do you need multiple degrees.
Yes.
So, so the first being hard work, the second being integrity and ethics. And I think the third and one of the most important thing is commitment. Yeah. So from our perspective, we are okay with hiring a person who does not have the best degrees or the best qualification. But if he is able to showcase these 3 qualities, we are more than happy to give them employment and more than happy to promote them as well. So a lot of our leaders today, or a lot of our head of divisions or businesses are not MBAs from B schools or are not IIT graduates. They are ones who, worked along with my father and me in creating that ecosystem, that they had the zeal to work hard. They were completely loyal and integrated to the entire ecosystem, and they were 100% committed to what they wanted to do. So I think these 3 qualities are very important for any person that is not only looking for job at Sanjay Ghodawat Group, but anywhere else also. And I think if you follow these qualities, even in your business, you will be successful over a period of time.
This is very true. I remember once a professor from Harvard, I was attending a session. He was saying that, the most family-run businesses have seen the ups and downs of the economy easily because they had those people who are committed to the organization.
Yeah.
So they never left the tree when there was a storm.
Correct.
So basically, it's a really, and now it's a management lesson also, that you don't need a degree to become ethical. You need to become hardworking. You don't need any formal education.
Yeah.
Wonderful. I think this is really from soil to software, or from beverage to airline. So this is like Sanjay Ghodawat Group is all about. Yeah. Now I would like to know from the opportunity creation perspective, as you initially said that you have created so many opportunity for the area where you are.
Yeah.
Now the opportunities are getting created in digital environment.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, you are into education also, so where the digital has gone to next level now.
Yeah.
And now we are all talking about virtual reality, augmented reality. People will wear the specs and they will be in a different environment, different universe. So as a group, how do you see your technology, automation, process automation, and also IPO or something like that, so that you can actually become a more like a all over Bharat. I will not use the word India, but a true Bharat organization which is truly automated.
Yeah. So I think technology today has become a part of our lives. It was pehle roti, kapda and makan, but today it is roti and kapda and then internet or data.
Yes.
Right. So makan is no more a requirement for anybody. Today people are willing to stay in rented houses, but nobody will stay without a Wi-Fi or a TV connection.
Even the Elon Musk has now bought a tiny house in a farm.
Yeah.
So he said, I would be living in a farm in a tiny house.
True. So, you can have a 40,000 square feet mansion or you can have a 400 square feet room, but in both the areas, you will require data and you will require technology to be part of it. So keeping that in mind, we have already started our digital transformation phase. We realize that if we want to take the journey from X to Y, it cannot be just done on the basis of our brick and mortar businesses. We need to bring in technology. We need to bring in digital transformation, be it industry 4.0 or a robotic process automation, or be it, completely, creating an enterprise solution for all our businesses. We need to be today digitally connected and be able to have that option to operate from anywhere in the world. Today technology has actually taken us, and the pandemic has actually taken us 10 years ahead. Nobody would have thought 2 years ago that you could sit at home and run the business. But today technology has made that possible. So understanding those benefits, we have already started implementing something called as SGG 2.0, where we are bringing in, like I said, we've already started working along with a few agencies to bring in Industry 4.0, where all our manufacturing units and factories are connected to each other and they talk to each other in digital format. All our MISs, which were traditionally on paper, today are on our mobile. We are able to raise POs or sign POs or even release payments through our mobile with IMPS connections, or be it your enterprise solution that SAP is providing to us. Thirdly, in terms of people, we are upgrading our people also. So, whenever technology comes in India, there is a fear that job losses will happen.
Yeah.
Right. But we have already told our people that not a single person will lose their job, even if we are implementing technology. It is only going to make their life more easier. So rather than sitting and doing data entry for 8 hours, we want them to utilize their brain for doing analytics.
Yes.
So even our accountants, or be it our finance guys, or be it our operations guys, we have told everybody that technology is going to become part of our life. Whether we like it or not, we will need to embrace this change. If you don't embrace it, you will be left behind.
Yeah.
And if you do quickly, then disruption can be created across each and every segment. So from our perspective, we are very clear. As a group, we believe in technology. We believe in the digital era that is coming ahead of us. And we want to continue to stay invested. We will build a very, very strong infrastructure required for harnessing the power of technology, and ensure that each of our businesses benefit out of this harnessed technology.
So, Shrenik, like your group might be buying a lot of major inputs, like a lot of things which you will be using in your businesses, using in your services and education, your consumer goods. So, can you mention some of the major items which you always look out for, and you also import where India can become Atmanirbhar, or you import from other states wherein your home states can become Atmanirbhar? So, would you throw some light on that?
Yeah. So, as a group, we have always, whenever we are planning for an industry or we are planning for a manufacturing unit, the first and foremost thing we see is availability of raw material. For us, that's of prime importance, because if we have to give the product at a affordable price to the consumer, you need to be closer to the source of raw material or closer to your consumer. So from that perspective, I think around 99% of our raw material is sourced locally.
Okay.
Manufactured locally.
Wow.
And then sold locally as well. So this is the ecosystem on which we have created. So be it our farmers, where we have a direct connect with more than 75,000 farmers from whom we buy the cane or the seeds for our edible oil crushing, or be it paddy for our rice businesses, or the pulp for our fruit juices. All of these are very locally connected and locally sourced, and which is why we've been able to give the best quality products at a very affordable price to our consumer. Going forward, also the idea would be to continue to develop these hub and spoke model sort of ecosystem around India, where we will go closer to the availability of raw material so that the local domestic farmer benefits out of it. So today, I'm very proud to say that almost 95% of our edible oil seeds are sourced locally. Wow. And refined and crushed locally and sold locally. So that's the ecosystem we've been able to create for our edible oil business.
I think this message goes loud and clear that, a lot of corporate, they believe that, supply chain is not in their hand. But yeah. I think your story is completely different, because you have actually mastered the supply chain and now you are getting into the branding and retail.
Yeah. And Rishabh, for us, it was very clear, today I can import oil from Ukraine, Argentina. I can do all of those activities. It's not beyond us. And it's not that we will not do it also. But we also need to understand that, what kind of percentage or what kind of growth are we giving to our area also. The business needs to be sustainable, and we don't want to be dependent on any geopolitical ecosystem for our supply chain, where tomorrow a war happens in some country, or, some country has some issue with India, and then, our whole supply chain ecosystem gets disrupted because of it. So that's the thought process by which we are building our supply chain net.
In a way, you are creating a triple bottom line effect, which we call SDG goals and ESG goals. So you are meeting them also in the process of business. So your business is more inclusive rather than an exclusive effect. So wonderful.
Yeah.
And now I want to come in the last question, which I have a little bit personal, that, as a Sanjay Ghodawat wearing multiple hats, as a young entrepreneur, an inspiration for many people who look up to you. So where you want to invest your spare time, free time, or quality time, whatever we call it, like what are the areas in which you keep yourself completely refreshed, completely rejuvenated?
Yeah. So I think number one is that, we have a very clear roadmap now for Sanjay Ghodawat Group. My father has created a platform for us, and, he's given us an opportunity that we can touch millions and millions of more lives. So the idea would be now to ensure that we focus on 4 key sectors for our group. The largest of them being FMCG, which is the consumer products business. Second would be aviation, where we will focus via Star Air to connect more and more rural cities, and the real India is what we call. So connecting real India is our slogan.
And
And
I also congratulate you for Hyderabad, Bangalore. I really congratulate you for that.
Thank you. So the idea is to connect more and more smaller cities, by bringing in more aircrafts and, convert a lot of first-time flyers, and, make sure that they go closer to their families. Even if they are working into multiple different cities, they are able to go back to their parents, and come back, in a day's time, so that they can be back to work. So the idea is to focus on that. Number 3 would be education. I think in education, we've already been able to create a good name for ourselves in the South Maharashtra and North Karnataka area. The idea would be to focus onto that, emphasize onto it, and start creating multiple smaller campuses across Maharashtra, Karnataka, AP, Telangana, to be able to educate more and more kids. The idea would be that today we educate about 17 to 18,000 kids annually, to take it to about 50,000 kids by 2025. And the last of them being the energy business. In energy business, we are already having about 150 megawatt of wind and solar power generation. Along with that, we have the largest independent service provider company for renewable energy, where we do operation and maintenance services for third-party assets. So there is enough potential in India. So we've got about 40 gigawatt of wind power that is installed in India. And there is a very, very large potential that we can continue to grow that business. So these are the 4 sectors that we will continue to put our entire thrust on. Personally, I am equally available for all of these 4 companies, but we are focusing on building a very strong team, because this is something that cannot be done by one person, and you will require a very, very strong team to be able to achieve these objectives. So my majority of the time is going in now building these team members, and to work along with them to have a clear vision document, to have a clear strategy how these plans will be executed. So that's something that I'm spending majority of my time. And whatever little time is left out of it, I want to give it to my family. So I have 2 young daughters, and to spend as much time as with them, because I have seen my father spend majority of his time in creating the platform that we have, and thanks to his sacrifices we are here today. So I want to ensure that I am a little more maybe one step ahead of him in spending more time with my daughters. And today he also enjoys spending time with his granddaughters. So this is something that I want to ensure that I do. And last but not the least, I think to ensure that we give time to community development. So Sanjay Ghodawat Foundation is one such initiative that we have started across development, and today more than 55 villages around us are directly getting benefit out of it, where more than 5,000 girls have been educated free of cost. We have cured about 23,000 patients out of our COVID center completely free of cost. We've been able to distribute more than 500,000 food packets in and around the flood affected areas as well as COVID affected areas. So this is something which is my drive, and about 3 lakh trees have been planted in Maharashtra and Karnataka. So going forward, I want to spend a lot more time in building up the society around us, in upscaling the lifestyle of people over here, so that the wealth which is getting created can be shared along with all of the people around us, and we can create a happy community. And that's my dream for the group.
I think I'm really thrilled to have such an great thoughts and interview. I'm really excited to know that you are working not only for Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, Fit India, Digital India, climate resilient agriculture, what not. So whatever we are hearing, you are actually doing it.
Yeah.
So that is the beauty of what Sanjay Ghodawat Group is all about. So friends, as you have seen, Shrenik Ghodawat talking from his heart, and he's also concerned about the community, giving back to community, to the society, through which all the wealth is being created. He's not shying away to share it, his wisdom, and also the efforts which the organization level are being getting grass at the grassroots level is really an inspiration for you all. And I hope you would love this. Mahakumbh is all about, getting the 5 rivers, 12 years. It's an opportunity. Stay tuned with the Nahar JBN Mahakumbh, and you will get the business icons like Shrenik Ghodawat, who is always accessible. So Shrenik, the last parting question I would like to ask you that, if there is a capable, credible GTO member who want to supply something, who want to join as an organization, as an employee, or as a supplier, or as an advisor, whatever in the whatever capacity. So would you be interested to give access to your organization by creating a dedicated email ID? I am not asking any much bigger thing at this moment. One email ID at gto@sanjayghodawat.com would be good enough to get those interests. And if your team feel that they are equally capable, competitive, then they can get an opportunity.
No, absolutely. I think my father has been very clear, and as a group, we are very clear that we want to support our community. I think this is something as a thought process is also clear to us. We would be very happy to have our Jain community develop from the entire ecosystem or plan that we have laid out. We, along with our team, we will ensure that we create a dedicated email address, and I will share it with you.
Who can view that, and then he can respond appropriately.
Yeah. So I think we'll probably create two email addresses, one for suppliers or for vendors or for customers, and one dedicated for HR, so that they can focus directly, so that it does not get lost in translation or communication.
Wow, this is what Sanjay Ghodawat, this is what Shrenik. I asked for one and I am getting two. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, and we look forward your organization participation, particularly the IIT students who are doing studying. They can get an opportunity of 12 days to learn about 500 stalls which we have. They can learn about new business trends. It will help them as an internship also. It is a 12 days virtual. So I'm sure your education team will give them also this opportunity. Visitor passes are all complimentary. And request your organization, your extended ecosystem will participate, and everybody will get benefited. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Rishabh ji. Thank you so much.
Thank you.